Hi everyone, this is Rensler, and today we are starting our playthrough of Space Engineers 2. So, without further ado, we're just going to get into it. So first we need to delete our tools and get them set up in the way that I remember from Space Engineers 1. Okay, that's done. So second thing we do is we look at our drop pod here and we pay attention to where it is, right? And for some reason in this playthrough, they did not give me an antenna on mine. I don't know why. That might be a bug. Who knows? Doesn't matter. So what we're doing is we're coming over to this vegetation because we start in the desert, which is sand, which means it's silicone for this game anyway. So what we are going to do is just make sure that we can see what we need for iron. So generally that when you see trees and rocks like this, you can dig straight down and get iron. Okay, so now you'll see that we've got silicone and iron, right? That's great because what we want is iron from everywhere. And the reason why I say that is that we need to be able to drill. We're going to have to build a mobile drilling thing because I have done testing on other playthroughs, and there is an issue right now with conveyors managing inventory or sending inventory to and from subgrids. Don't worry about what I just said. There's bugs. Some of it's broken. There's bugs, whatever, right? So what is important is that we right now have a suit battery, and we will die if we do not power a base or this pod here, which has a battery in it, and hook up a survival kit to keep our suit battery above zero. Above zero is what we have to have. And even though this is an Earth-like planet, and even though there is an atmosphere that if I could remove my helmet, which we can't, if I could remove my helmet, I would be able to breathe this air and I would have enough oxygen. That doesn't matter. If the suit battery goes to zero, your character starts slowly dying and then you die. So dead battery equals dead pioneer. Okay? That's just how it is. So what we'll do is not waste time. So there's a couple things that I want. I need some steel plates. And I did rebind my crouch, and now I'm instinctively pressing the old crouch button. But I do need these construction components. Okay. And that should, if my memory serves, that should give me the ability to place an antenna. Excellent. Okay. Cool. All right. So when you put up an antenna, if you do not go in and change the custom message, it's just whatever the original message would be. So this one is my drop pod, which is accurate. That's fine. Okay. So what we do have, though, is enough iron to make the beginnings of a couple blocks, and that's all we need. So we're a couple 250-ish meters away from our thing. And honestly, we don't need to be super far away. We just need to be a little bit into this because the biome change, there's not exactly a straight line, but it's straight-ish and, close enough for government work, right? So light armor cube. Okay, so I need a light armor cube, and I also need a survival kit, and I will need a wind turbine. Now, wind turbines are not as dense as solar panels. Wind turbines have a lot of requirements to make sure they function correctly, but they can function at night, and a lot of that is the point. So, and then of course I need a battery. So what's really nice about this game, SE2 versus SE1, is that with SE1, if you ground down a battery, you would lose the cells from the battery. And in this one, you can pull the cell out of the battery as like a thing in your inventory before you grind down the rest of the battery, which is 1,000,000% the thing you do want to do. But what you do need to do is build something that can receive it first. So there's a lot of, well, do this, then that, then this, then that nonsense, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is we've got our light armor cube. We're going to press J for a new grid, and I'm pressing B until I get gravity aligned, which is so important. It makes sure that I am going to be building a base that is level with the stuff around it. So now what I'm doing is just flying up, not to build the base, but to see where are the trees less dense. And honestly, the answer is right over here. Because what I don't want to do is build my base in the middle of a boatload of trees. Because every time you load the game, it kind of derps out on the trees. And no, I cannot tell you why. But it did not at all appreciate some of the stuff I was doing. Okay, so why can I click drag, right? Why can I click drag like that? And it's because... Nope. I accidentally clicked the run walk toggle. What's the run walk toggle? Run. Walk. Toggle walk is caps. Yes, it is. Okay. We don't want to walk right now. When we're welding things, we do want to walk. Okay. Oh, hold on a second. I know what's going on. I just need a moment to come right back. And we're back. Okay. I know exactly what was happening. Don't worry about that. I took care of it. Okay, we're going to get some silicone from these rocks. Right, cool. Interesting. Oh, I guess I need to come over here to this darker bit. Yep, interesting. Very interesting. All right, well, I'm not mad. I'm just kind of perplexed a little bit. All right. Cool. All right. So now we've got our drop pod and we've got this guy, and we're going to have to... Okay. So we found a hidden renegade base. We have to destroy it. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. Cool. Okay, so 5 and then R, and we get ourselves some ramps. Okay. Okay, I don't have enough materials. That's all right. So that's... Where's the shortest distance? Basically towards the pod. Okay. All right. So, unfortunately, the beginning of the game is just a lot of this. And I know it's going to be a little bit boring, but I promise we'll get to really cool, fun, amazing stuff in just a little bit. So we get ourselves about 300 iron. And when we find an iron deposit, we will be getting iron much, much, much faster. The issue is that we will have to build a vehicle to do so because Like I said, there are bugs with certain things right now, and one of them is inventories transferring and management through subgrids. I don't know why it's broken, but that's also the definition of a bug, really. And I just want to know where the edge of one of the... As far as I know, that's the edge. Yeah, it is. Okay. So that's kind of the... Okay, so I need nickel and 500 iron. All right. That's not awful. Okay. So we'll go more towards here. There's our hole that we've got. What we'll do is we'll just kind of dig a trench towards our drop pod, because we're going to need to get over there anyway. So what the drop pod has is a battery with charge in it. What the drop pod does not have is a survival kit. So what I will be doing is building the survival kit on our side, building the smallest battery container I can on our side, pulling the battery from the drop pod, using that battery. Wait, the drop pod battery is the bigger size. Never mind. I will be building a tiny battery on our side that contains a battery with 30% charge. I will use that charge to keep us from not dying. And then we will continue on our journey. Okay, cool. So we have silicone and iron, but something we do not have at the moment is nickel. So some of the rocks are nickel. That's silicone. That's probably silicone. Yeah, okay. So these brighter rocks are silicone. Is there anything that's kind of darker? Anything that's kind of darker? This one seems darker, but it's probably just shadows. Yeah, shadows. All right, that's fine. Okay, so we need a motor, and motors require nickel. All right. So now this is where we start basically pillaging from our drop pod. Can we get something useful from the drop pod, right? And we're going to fly with our drill active. And why do we do that? Because the drill has an ore detector on it for times just like this, where we need nickel, and apparently there is some. So what we do is we power drill our way because solar panels are all silicone, right? Sweet. And because we need the materials, we need enough silicone for solar panels eventually, because solar panels really are going to be the primary power source for us. Until we've, because there might be ice, but I know there's no... There might be ice, but I know there's no water yet. I don't think they've implemented real hydrogen management yet because I don't know if ice is in the game. It might be. I might just flat out be wrong. Okay, cool. So we have a survival kit, but what we don't have is power, right? So what we will do is I want something. Let's see. Is there a port on top? There is. And I want this to be able to have inventory. So we'll just put a battery on the back. Sweet. Okay. Sweet. Okay. So what we have is now a way to not die, but we have a battery here. But what we don't have is a way of recharging said battery, right? And if we look at the direction that the clouds are going, that is the direction that the sun moves. Hi, planet. So we need to have some way of getting power to our base, right? So we take our... I don't know why, but sometimes it takes me way too many times to stop on the So that's 10. That should be 10 blocks. Okay. I thought you'd be able to run and go into flight mode and get a nice boost, but apparently in Space Engineers 2, that's just not a thing. I was not aware of that until just now. All right. So grinding that down doesn't get me steel at all, right? But it does get me construction components, which I will need for other things. So what I'm going to do is take the accent materials off of this. Get ourselves some steel plates because we will need enough steel plates to build the 11 steel bits that I need for the frames. And then I need enough materials of whatever kind. I probably need an extra like 12 steel plates for the wind turbine that we are going to put at the top of the tower that we just made. Because if you put it away from the planet enough, the wind gets faster up there. There's more air movement. There's more wind, which means it can move our wind turbine and we can get power. I am stoked that they gave me a renegade base because that what that tells me is that it's just full of resources. Some steel tubes. Okay, so we'll get some steel tubes, some metal grids. I don't remember the exact recipe for the wind turbine, so I'm just trying to get enough stuff that I won't have to mine a whole lot. Let's see. I changed some of the controls and now I have to remind myself what they are. Okay, what is in here that we can take? Now, something that other people, other players of this game have mentioned that I'm sure will be fixed eventually is that if something contains a lot of parts or only a couple parts, it takes the same amount of time to grind it down, and that does not seem to be realistic. We, the player base, have an expectation that when you are grinding something down and it's incredibly simple, for example, one steel plate, that should take not as long. It should be much faster to just do that. So what I'm doing is I'm taking these from holograms to instanced stuff in our world with the least amount of resources required, right? Because structurally it's unsound, sure. Granted, I'll give you that. But it doesn't have to be fully 1,000,000 structurally sound to work. Okay. So, all right, we're short 11 plates. We need motors and electronic parts. We have enough construction components. That's great. It's so nice when the game tells you exactly how much of what you have. So we're short 6 motors and 11 steel plates. And what else? The electronic components, what is it? We're short by 1. Okay. You see how helpful that is? That's great. That's fantastic. I'm a fan of that. Turbine blades, steel tubes, metal grids, steel plates. I mean, we need the plates, so we're just going to get our plates here. Now, what would be nice is if our backpack would be able to break things down back into their cork of their ores, so we could take the materials of something and build something else from it. That's also known as recycling. I don't know if this game does that yet. But we did get some more motors. So what I'm trying to do is grind down the see this. Oh man. Yeah. Okay, that's steel tubes. Steel plates. Give me those. Yeah. Give me the plates. So now we need electronic parts. Give me. Fine, gimme. Alright. Cool. Okay, we might have enough to weld this up. We might be short one thing, maybe? We'll see. So, the point is this. We've got our start. We've got a survival kit with a battery, and now we will have a way of recharging said battery. And while we can't really make a whole lot of things right now, what we can do is make enough things to not die. Which I would say generally is just a positive thing. Fantastic. Okay. So now if we press F here, we don't get anything, right? But if I press F and go to the inventory, I can go to control, right? So we see that the survival kit is working. We see that the effectiveness of our guy is okay. So base is 80%, right? Ground height, we're 25 meters off the ground. You have to be. And the air density is at 100%, right? And we have full clearance, which means if we get wind, extra wind, then we get 100%. So we're outputting max 177 kilowatts. So if we go to the battery, right, so the current maximum input is 199 kilowatts. That is the current input that we're getting. It's not outputting anything right now, and it will be charged up in the next 9 minutes, 15 seconds. Absolutely fantastic. So now what we have is not dying. So the question is, how do we expand on this? Normally, I would build an assembler. I would build eventually a refinery. I would build all the basic base builder stuff. And then I would build a base-based drill, and I would drill down and get a boatload of materials, and the base would be able to automatically process and do all those things. But, like I said, those things are broken. Now, the drills work, so what we can do is mount a bunch of storage on the drills to where the drill will eat the ore as it should. The piston will push the drill into the earth as it should. So what we can do is look around our immediate vicinity to determine if there is an iron deposit below us, right? Now, right away, I don't see one. So what you can do is build a rig with a really wide wheelbase. I'm talking several blocks wide, 8 to 10. And it's essentially, if you know what an oil drilling rig looks like, it's essentially that. But it's a drill for us. And the idea is it will be able to plunge that drill directly down into the ground and get the iron that seems to be right about here. Cool. And it's only 30-ish meters from the... That's not too bad. That's only, I don't know, half a kilometer, maybe a little bit more. Half a click from our base. That's not awful. So we could try to stretch a drill out there, but what we will do first is try to build like a decent base, right? So let us start by creating a cargo container. So we're going to go to our second guy here, and we go to character gear. So we get our welder, our grinder, and we're not going to do our miner on this, right? So this is our try to build our base kind of thing. So we're going to do a cargo. So we've got a cargo container, and then we've got a conveyor. And right now I want large conveyors. So generally, you want a large conveyor tube. You want a... Let's see. Okay, that gives me a... Okay. That gives me that, and that, and that, and... Okay. So that's fine. Right. Okay, so that's an adapter, right? Okay. And the sorters don't have functionality yet. That's in the future. Okay. All right. Okay, so what we do is we take our cargo container, right? So you can have giant containers, you can have small containers, or you can, I mean, you can go Chungus. We don't need that right now, right? So this takes up the entire block. But that just takes up this much. So I need a motor and one more steel plate. Right. Okay, so if I hit G and I go to motor, we can't do that, right? So if I go blueprints, right? I mean, there's all the blueprints. So we're going to, character. I don't have any data pads. I don't have trade yet. So we're going to do blocks. Yeah. Let's see. Motors. Production. Yeah, there are no production blocks available. Okay, so G. we get rid of that and we go to production, right? So an assembler, fabricators are big. Yeah, smelters, right? And we'll need a gear forge because we want our better stuff, right? We need motors for a smelter and we need motors for this. Which tells me that in my backpack I can make motors. Okay, so if I can make motors, okay, if I can make motors, so I'm short 20 kilos of nickel, and I'm short 110 kilos of iron. All right. I want to go to where I think our iron is. Which is helpful because what this does is this lets me get nickel on my way to the iron that I need, right? And am I breaking the rule of digging straight down? Yes. Yes, I am. Cool. When in doubt, dig yourself out. Cool. So now we've got... Sweet. Okay. So now we have a cargo container. That is inventory linked to our survival kit. So eventually, if we inventory link an H2O2 generator... we have something that will automatically fill my oxygen and my hydrogen, which I don't even know if that functionality works in this game right now. But that's fine. That's not important right now. What is important right now is that we are doing drills. We're going to space. We're doing drills. And that sun is going to set, which means we will have 2 game hours of darkness. Oh no, it's gonna be darkness. And I did not put an antenna, powered or otherwise, by the hole that we dug, but that's okay because that's what our ore detector is for, and I generally know the direction of it anyways. We're gonna be fine. So the point is that our battery, if we look at our control panel for the battery. Okay, so the battery is charged, which means I should be able to keep myself alive by using just this. And, right. By using just that to keep my suit powered in the dark. So if we go to conveyor curved, the point is that I can hit this conveyor node junction, which is a large conveyor port on all sides. Cool. Okay, so that's, what is that? 580 kilograms of iron. And I have 696 in my inventory right now. But also I can do stuff at night. I can mine at night and all those things because, of course, I have a flashlight that uses my suit power, but we're fine. So if I press 4, right, just the same thing. Okay. So a curved conveyor. Just like that. What's the resources that you need? 290. Okay. All right, so that's a little too close to the base. But what we can do is take a straight. Actually, you know, we'll do the T-junction. We'll do this. Okay. And then G, and then a piston. We'll take our piston. And that's not even close to tall enough. Okay. Yeah, so we'll just take our straight 2, 3, and we will T-junction this off just like that. And we'll do straight, and then a T-junction. So what you want to do is design for expansion. And I know how these pistons behave. So I know what it will do. Which is this. Yeah. So because it has no power, it will slam itself into the ground. Which also shows you the extension distance of said piston, which tells me that we've built ours too high. But that's okay because we built it too high on purpose because we're going to put cargo containers in between us and the drill head. Because I needed to store stuff. So we need permanent magnets and we need compressors, which means we need to build a bunch of other things, right? You may not know that, but I do. So are going to need to be spelunking for resources for a little while. So let's start building some of those resources to understand what we've just gotten ourselves into, okay? So we did our survival kit, and we have a battery, okay? So we wanted to build a drill rig. We can't do that right now. But, okay. And we'll even do our drill, okay. So we've got a welder, a grinder, and our drill. So now what we do is we press G, and now we need to build the functionality of our base. Okay. So we're going to build out an assembler, and we need a smelter. The smelter and the assembler will give us basic tools, and to build the permanent magnets, we will need a refinery, and we will need chromium. We'll need a chromatic something to chromatic coating to be able to make the refinery, and the refinery will allow us to make permanent magnets. The magnets will allow us to build the pistons, because you can make drills right now. The most difficult thing that we need to build is the piston that requires permanent magnets. And we just don't have that available to us right now. So we will be attacking the unknown signal. Also, there's a camp over there, a hostile camp. We're going to that. But not until we get weapons. And we're going to have to build a gear forged for our weapons because, yes, we are going to be blowing stuff up. Because that is the fun part, to me anyway. Building ships and rovers and exploring planets, all of that is fun, but blowing stuff up, come on. Everybody knows that's fun. And also, because this is technically a hostile planet, we will need to defend ourselves, which will be fun. All right, let's go real quick. So we built stuff kind of high, right? We also need to make sure that we're not blocking the output of our guy here, and we're not, and that's great. Okay, so one of the smallest things that we can build is a smelter, right? So what we want to do is make sure that our smelter can connect inventories with stuff, right? Shortly, okay? And the dog's asking for new trees. Yes, you'll get your trees shortly. Yes, you will. She's a good dog. She's actually a fantastic dog. Just saying she's a good dog is actually kind of an understatement. You're okay. Are you wasting away tonight? All right. I'll be right back. And we're back. Okay, so the smelter's functional, right? So what some people need to understand, what I can teach you, is this. If you have, as long as you have all of the components in the list except for the top one, and they're fully welded, as you can see here, the top 21 steel plates that are required to totally complete this device from 70% to 100%. You will also see just above the progress bar there, it says status is functional, okay? In most cases, I think all of them, but I'm going to say most because I'm not 100% sure and I don't want to make a false statement due to naivety, is in many cases in Space Engineers 2, you can weld a block not completely, but the block will be functional. Case in point is what I'm looking at in front of you right now. Okay? The block is functional. The game says it is, right? I can interact with the console. I can make it do things. But I haven't welded it 100%. Now, one of the issues that you'll see right away is that the max input of this is 800 kilowatts, but if you look at our battery, the battery's maximum output is 200 kilowatts, right? And we have one turbine. And the turbine puts out 320 maximum. Everything is best case scenario. So what does that mean math-wise? It means our batteries do not have the capacity to drive this machine, even with the turbine that we have. And the sun is going down. So that means two things. One is we need more battery capacity, also input-output, but we also need more turbines, panels, something to charge those batteries, right? So the cheaper way to do it, seriously, is just build more turbines because turbines work at night, right? So what we will do is we will extend our base out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay. So it considers this not clear. Perfect. Okay. Interesting. I thought I had enough iron. All right. That's okay. Right. That makes sense. I was wondering why I did not see the antenna for my pod anymore. And the answer is I pulled the battery. So because we need steel plates and we don't really need this thing anymore. We're going to pull this thing down. And just try to get all the mats from it. If it looks special and cool, that's because it is. Which means generally it has more materials that we can grab from it. The metal grids are going to help us because the grids give us what we need for anything that requires cobalt. And this will get us some of the electronic parts that we need. Because we need electronic parts and motors. We're just grinding down some stuff here real quick. All right. So enough of that. Of course, our guy is picking up more nickel, which is great. And you will see the level of detail where we know the turbine is spinning, but there's a point where we're far enough away in the game, it just decides to not simulate that for us. That's just one of the many optimizations that they've made in the game. That's not a bug or anything. That's supposed to do that. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. We need 9 and 10. You would say, why? Why do we need 10? It's the minimum safe distance for operating wind turbines. That is why we need it. Also for uniformity, we make sure that they are the same height. And we do need to build up from an existing structure. And 10. Fantastic. Okay. And as much as I want to put a solar panel array up here, it's not something we can do yet. Okay. So we're short a couple 100, 300 something kilograms of nickel. We have more than enough silicone and literally a few tons of iron. All right. All right. That's fine. Let's see. What do we have? Okay, so I need nickel and iron. Got it. All right. I know where to get that. We're going to come back over to our hole here for iron. Oh, I also see a cobalt. Yeah, where's my hole for iron? I know it's here somewhere. Oh, there it is. So what'll be a big deal for us right now is to just make this hole a little bigger. There we go. The goal is that it makes it more noticeable, right? And what the game apparently likes is if you are constantly moving the drill head while you are attempting to mine ore like this. It seems to just behave a little better when you do that. Fine by me. I'm not going to gripe about it. Just going to go do what it asks. And we needed about 320 nickel or so is my understanding. Okay, that's enough. 347 is more than 320, so we'll take it. And we will boopity boop all the way down to our iron, which we need. I believe the total we needed was 3.12 tons. We had used about 595 kilograms. And it said I had, I believe, 5 or 6 kilograms left in my inventory. It wasn't enough to make an entire steel plate, so I ended up with partial. But that's all right. That's fine. So what I am doing is just slowly rotating my player character and mining out this iron here. It's my understanding that we were short about 3-ish tons. And you could say, but Rensler, didn't you say that you weren't going to weld the entire thing? That is correct. It is what I said. And we are not going to weld the entire thing. But what we will do is try to collect all those materials because I'm going to need them anyway. And I'm already here. So trying to be efficient and not waste a trip. So if I start by getting the materials I need and then grabbing all the materials that I can carry, we accomplish the task that we set out to do the first one, which is get enough mats to build the thing, but also have enough mats that we can start building the next thing. And I'm happy that the sun is taking time to set. That makes it to where we can actually see what we're doing. Okay. Back at 100%. Okay. See how I stopped it right when it was functional, right? Okay. So we get back down here. Come over to our control panel, right? So now we look at our turbine. Excellent. Okay. So they're both at 320 kilowatts, and you would say that's not a lot. Honestly, it isn't. But 640 plus 200 is over 800, which means now, even though it's going to be drawing basically all of the power that's available in the base, the point is our system can now make stuff, right? Chrome coating requires chromium, and chromium is not even something that is on this planet. I'm serious. It's not even on this planet. Gold thread requires gold, so that's going to be tough for us to find. But with our trusty rusty ore detector, we'll be able to get through that. And do you see where all of that came in handy, right? So we need 500 kilograms of nickel and we have most of the iron. So what we need is nickel, really. Okay, well, let's charge up our guy. We're going to go straight towards this. So what I've done is I've turned off the inertial dampeners, and what that does is it removes the speed limit. Cool. I'm right. I did see gold. There's gold that's closer. There's gold in this rock. Not only will I get the nickel I need, I'm going to get gold that I can use for the thread. There it is. Gold mines slower, that makes sense. It's a tougher mineral to mine, that also makes sense. All right, I won't get greedy. It's still daylight out. Turn my flashlight off. So what I do is a high-speed flyby sometimes to make sure that if they're going to shoot me, that I'm moving at a fast enough pace that maybe I might be able to outpace their ability to aim and hit me. But if we come in here like this and we see that, okay, heavy-duty plates are incredibly heavy, as they should be, so we're going to see if we can get, okay, that's wire. Construction components are not special to me, so sometimes the door of a cargo container is not open, which is why we make doors. Take your battery. So the goal is to look through these and find chromium. All right, these guys are heavy-duty plates and such. That's great. Relation station, many kilometers away. There's also an active contract with that hostile camp. Well, what's great is that now we have enough gold, right? And you could say, oh no, Renz, did you lose your base? Well, kind of, but we can find it. The beauty is my base stands out because it's tall. And I know sort of where it is, which also happens to be right here. And am I going to put an antenna on it? Yep. Yuppers. Yes, I am. I'm going to put all the antenna on it. All right, cool. Okay, so our smelter's good to go, right? Okay. So it needs 8 gold thread. That's fine. I happen to have a smelter here. And I happen to have gold. So if we go to production and we go to our smelter and I say I want gold thread, I can say I want exactly 8 of those. And it says, yeah, sure. So it produces, okay? And those end up in its inventory. So if we look at the output of it, there we are. Click, drag that. We have our gold thread. We come back to this guy and I say, I have gold thread for you, sir. And I get it back down. I get those 2 steel plates back. So now I have an assembler, right? So if we look at the assembler, we can build compressors, motherboards, combustion chambers, ion chambers. Heavy duty plates are big. Chemical synthesizer, we need that, right? We need that for the smelter, but we have to have the chrome coating, which means we have to have chromium, which is not found on this planet in its natural form. But I can find the chromium coating stuff somewhere. Let me just plug my phone in real quick. Realized my phone battery was dying. All right. So now we need a gear forge because I'm not going in without being prepared. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Gear Forge. Brought to you by some dude. All right. Right. The Gear Forge cuts off an entire bliggity blue. Screw it. We'll just put it right here. Boom. Gear Forge. Yep. It only needs the basic stuff, too. Steel plates. So I need iron and nickel. The same old story. It's the same old story of iron and nickel. Where is the iron deposit? Come on, dude. I made a large hole. And there it is. Okay. Turn on our flashlight of destiny here and start mining. Apparently, if you really just like mash your face into the ore that you are mining, it appears that you get more ore per tick. I don't remember how much ore we were short for nickel. So I'm going to get us 500 and maybe that's enough. Come on now. Come on. We need tons of ore. Actual, literal tons of iron ore. It sounds like a figure of speech. In this, we're using it in its measurement form. Actual tons of ore. The best part about discovering this deposit is that by the time we have enough materials to mine it, we will have mined out all of the useful materials in it to build the infrastructure to get over here. Which is just kind of funny. And now I've made that a big enough hole that I can just fly out of it, which is great. And then we come over here. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. We should have enough. Okay, it's functional. Good. So now the gear forge is functional. So what's cool about it is that I don't need to fly up or try to interact with the bottom of it. Right? I can just come over here. So something I can do is just dump those mats in the smelter, right? But I don't do that primarily because I want to be able to back up through my backpack, right? My backpack allows me to take ore and turn it into components, so I want to use that as much as possible. And I don't have an abundance of anything right now, really. So I just want to be cognizant of it, right? So if we go to the smelter, we have an assembler, but now we also have a gear forge, which means I can make better versions of my stuff, right? The area welder is so amazing, but that's when you want to complete blocks, and I don't want to complete them right now. So we've got a Mark 1 of everything. And honestly, with grinding and drilling are the things I want better, but so I need a drill Mark 1, a lead bar. So we don't have lead yet, right? We haven't actually found lead. So the stainless steel. Okay. I'll have to look at even how to make stainless. I think that's cool. Okay, so we need pressure pipes. Okay. And I'm just making an assumption here that that's not... Yeah. Okay. That might be a refinery... That might be a refinery thing. Is the stainless. Right? Okay. And just titanium sheets. Yeah. Okay. So a Mark II drill. Okay, so really the only thing I need is a lead bar. So let's take a... We need grinders, turbine blades, lead bar... Right. And turbine blades, I can get that from... Okay. All right, cool. Now we're going to do the cool thing. We're going to go into weapons. Okay, so I've got... I can fire 400 meters. Grid damage light, character damage is medium. Heavy duty plate, a steel tube, a pressure pipe, and a combustion chamber, which tells me automatically we have to have a refinery. Steel tubes. Okay. What if I give it... a pressure pipe. Okay. 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 So a pressure pipe is probably a smelter thing. I'm making an assumption. Okay. So 4, 5, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 is the smelter. These things are... No, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. It's the refinery. Yeah. Okay. So... That would work. Okay. So now it's real. So I need compressors, heavy duty plates. I need all the stuff that an assembler can make. So I need heavy duty. Yeah, which is a lot of iron. Okay. All right. So really what this is we're going in unarmed. Yes, we are. Let's go.
Ouch.
Yep. We're doing something stupid, everyone. We're going in, not at full health, with no weapons. We're going to fly by at high speed and watch it try to kill us. Which it did just try.
Ow.
Cool. So I have its attention.
Ouch.
So I have its attention. So what it's doing is that it's wasting ammunition, right? Now the game doesn't allow for infinite ammo. So eventually he's going to tire himself out, which also means he's going to run out of ammo. You want to shoot at me, but you know you can't. Hi. Hi. I shut your turret off. I don't know why this has. Sure. There. The other turret shouldn't be able to function because I just turned all the power off on the base. If they were smart, they would have put interior turrets in these bins. I don't want to grind it. I want to pick it up. Rocket, lead bars. Let's go. Chrome coating, like I said. Let's go. A pressure pipe so I can make a gun. Let's go. Metal grids. I don't need those. Okay, what do I have a lot of? What do I have a lot of that I don't absolutely need right now? I don't need that many steel tubes. 50 is okay. 40 is... Yeah. Okay, what's here? Okay, ammo box, okay. Glass, chrome coating, turbine blades, uranium. Okay. A gun? And a mag? And 2 compressors. And the motors are good too. How fruitful this troop has been. Trip. Character gear. Let's go. I picked up a... Let's go. An atmospheric thruster. You're just storing a thruster in there. I don't actually need that right now. Okay. A rifle mag. Med kits. A suit battery. Something changed. I was like, oh no, what changed? Whatever that is. That's a data pad. And a small power cell. And a rocket. Dude, this is jackpot right here. Okay, the GPS contract is the middle of the thing, sure. The game's just like, yeah, here's everything. Wow. And they have a gear forge. Just so many resources. And apparently they're doing thruster testing. Gold threads, chrome coating. A superconductor? Yeah, I'll take the superconductor. Thank you so much, sir. I'm going to have to turn the power back on back here to make sure the beacon keeps working. That battery can work. I'll go take care of the turret. Just so much stuff. That's amazing. Dude, this is so much stuff. Okay. All right. This is wild. This is magically, as I say sometimes, it's magically fantastical. I might be getting up high enough where the Gatling gun might try to kill me. Because I have not told Freddy over there to stand down yet. Okay. All right. But building cool catwalks and stuff like this is something that I want to do. Yep. The gun's right there. Yep. I know. I'm aware. It's fine. I just needed this guy to not shoot me in the face. That's really what it is. All right. What are your treasures and wonders? All right. Gatling ammo, jetpack stuff, rockets, med kits. Another rifle, mags, uranium. Dude. It's finds like this, man. It's finds like this. All right, let's go try to find where our base was because we don't have an antenna. Okay, where's the lower gun? Okay, so the lower gun was the thing I approached first. No, I came in from that way. I did. Okay. Well, everybody, let's try to go find where we were. It probably would have been smart to build an antenna first, rather than flying 7 kilometers away from my base at night. That's okay, because I think we'll find it. Yeah, we were about 7 kilometers away. Because I know I flew past it. Yeah, see, the real issue is the sun's going down. Yeah, we were about 70 kilometers from Velation Station, right? So we're roughly over here. Yeah, this is what happens when you don't put on a GPS thing. That's okay. We can find our base again. That's not honestly not a problem. Because I know roughly where we were. Because we were about 7 kilometers from the hostel thing and 70 kilometers from Velation Station. So right now the issue is that we actually have to go back to the rogue station and build ourselves a survival kit, because if we don't, our suit power will die out and we will die. Hi there, it's Rensler from the future, and we encountered some technical difficulties while recording the next 5 minutes of my journey in this clip. My mixer crashed and I was not aware of that, so all of the audio was lost. Also, I did make it back to the base. The next 20 minutes of that gameplay, that's just gone. the NVIDIA broadcast software apparently had an issue, and that footage was lost. Now, it's good that I frequently cycle my stop starts for my recording, so we didn't lose everything. So the next shot is going to be us during the day back at our base. So let's cut to that. All right, we are back in our Let's Play, and let's see. I need iron, huh? I think I need iron. The smelter has a ton of it. I'm taking it. This is what's nice about the backpack for this time around, is that I don't have to take the mats and make plates first. It skips that step, right? To me, it's a quality of life improvement, but it also makes sense that an engineer of this type would have the ability to build something, to have something like that. We will have to figure out what the area welder's cost is going to be. I might be able to use that. Because as much as people may think, this is not a large project. This is just putting an expanded floor on the base, because I'm going to be building an entrance / exit tunnel over the trees. And part of this is even going to be my under the stairs storage space. And if you grew up in a rancher, then you may not know what under the stairs storage space is. And that's okay. You don't necessarily have to. This is unfortunately part of the boring part of just welding up this stuff. Okay, So at the beginning of a load, the game will try to look at what are you doing right now, and we may have to go back so I can take the ramp up earlier, or I may just have to ramp up like we're here. But the idea is that we will be building a ramp that goes over these trees, so the game doesn't have to calculate and destroy the trees, and they don't spawn inside the base. Because technically, super technically, when the level loads, it loads in the base model first, and then it processes the changes that we made. And right now in alpha, what that means is that if there's a tree in the middle of our base and we have stuff in the way, of course, that the game can't allow that. So it has to immediately destroy the tree, but those animations play. So it's just weird, and it breaks the immersion. There's a bunch of stuff that it doesn't do, right? So that's why I want to build this, and I want to put a ramp up and all that. Okay. Okay, so we have our hostile camp, which is not hostile anymore because we broke the guns, is the answer. We broke the guns. Okay, so we're going to bring ourselves back to our survival kit, which is no longer our wall, and we'll put supports up for these guys to make it make sense as to why / how they're above us. But I put them above us, obviously intentionally, so we don't have to constantly walk around them, because walking around stuff is annoying. Let's just be real with that. structurally, everything is sitting on top of that guy right there. Which is kind of funny. So I have a little bit of iron. There's a little bit of iron there. Nowhere here is there any plates or anything. Okay. And I have my Mark II tools. I don't need any of that. And for consumables, so I have health and a battery. There's a data pad. We'll get to that, just not right now, but we will get to right now is getting a few more resources from not bad, not bad, not bad. So one of the nice things that they have is some batteries. And there's the mounting plate for one of the guns. Rockets and jetpacks and power cells. But those big batteries are heavy-duty plates. And this tier 2 grinder is just better. Oh. I'm a fan of this grinder. It's going to sound dumb, but I'm actually kind of stoked to start mining with my... which I have a touch, but... I give them credit for building this. I give them credit. Credit where credit is due. Ah, yes, and we have all of this stuff too.
Inventory full.
Inventory full. And again. That's an outpost. That's me. Now, because I am holding weight, I'm carrying stuff, my mass has changed. Which means the stuff that my damplers must do is tougher. There's more of it. Because there's more, I'm carrying more. Nice. And just that fast. Just that fast. We take all those resources and we dump them back over to the base. So, of course, there's another outpost signal there. And yes, we'll get to it. I'm going to fly past this a bit. I want the plates. Okay. So the point is to make sure that there's still enough power for the antenna to stay on. Power's good. That's me. We got that guy. I think we did it. Yep. It's the other. We'll just look at the whole thing real quick. Yeah, I think we're good. Let's go check out the outpost real quick. We have enough health to get back. We'll be fine. Okay, nothing in there really. Okay, all the normal elements. All right. Come over to this guy. Tubes, grids, lead. Gold is good. We'll get the lead. We'll get the motherboards. Okay, to Gear Forge. Okay, we've got windows. That's great. Yep. They have computer systems. Tubes, ion chambers, turbine blades, chrome coating. Yep. Important. Okay. Data pads. Okay, no more inventory for that. All right. Get 6 more plates from that. I know there's more batteries, so what's that? Okay, all right. So structural pillars. And a battery. Yeah, they like to put their batteries in containers. Try to protect them. These are always ominous, right? These are always what's inside the cave kind of things, right? Okay. Magnets, right? Blades, chrome coating, gold. Nice. Yeah, we inventory. We're just going to grind this. Oh, and it's because they do hide things in here. How interesting is that? I should have thought of that. Of course, it comes out the back. Right. So when you see these, grind them because most likely they've built a frame on the inside. Okay, all right. I see you. All right, we've got unknown signals everywhere. This is great. Large hostile camp is... Now we need to go to this guy and see what that wall, because they've got a wall that they have built over. It's probably a little cave with some stuff in it. Oh. Yep. That's death. Apparently it gives me crazy death music. It's like he has returned. It's like, I'm just an engineer, bro. It's not that deep. Character inventory. Oh, you let me pick up all of my old stuff. All right.
Inventory full.
There we go. Let's get over to our base. I want to know where my welder is. I apparently don't have a welder. Okay. We're gonna have to mark me a welder. I also want to mark 2 welder. And I want to mark 3 drill. Might have enough titanium. Don't have enough titanium? Okay, so for this, I want my... Okay. All right, that's our time for right now. We're going to come back later, and it's going to be amazing. See you later.